So, in the relationship journey, so far we have covered like two main relationships, which are like those relationship fields are by default, which is lookup, and the other one is master detail relationship. And we have gone through the features and how to create it, what is the users and how it works, everything we have saw. Now, like it is very important in the real time, like in interviews and all. Like why I am teaching interview things for you, you might be asking, but it is not necessary for the external. In external interview you will get, apart from this real time scenarios also, which you will not be able to answer, but in internal, which is client rounds and all, they will ask, no, at that time you can utilize this and start answering the questions. Once you enter, if someone asks, you should not be idle, no, because someone else took the interview and you went inside, and that is not good for you. So if you prepare a bit and make your fame and name in the same organization or the project, so that everyone will be thinking, okay, she has 3 plus and she is good enough in the knowledge. That is how people has to speak, no. And yeah, so we had gone through the master detail relationship. In that, we saw roll up summary. Roll up summary fields, hope you remember, no? That fields we tried for maximum, like what is the maximum experience and all those things. We can even try out for same. Similarly, count how many count of users are there and what is the sum of the experience. All those things you can calculate. Hmm? Okay, now the topic is we will cover the difference that is important, difference between the lookup and master detail relationship. Later we will move into the other relationships, and that is what today's agenda is. Okay. So, can anyone tell the difference between like one difference each is also fine. There might be no, like not more than five differences. You know both the things, no? Like you know lookup, you know master detail. So you tell me the relationship differences now.
In lookup, owner is here.
Sorry.
In lookup relationship, owner is there.
Yeah,
In
correct.
mass,
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Who was that?
make up.
Okay, okay. Yeah, see, and Krupa said in lookup relationship we can see the field which is owner in both the like parent object and even child object. But in master detail relationship, we can see the owner object, owner field only for the parent object and not for the child object. Okay. Any other differences? You have learned so many things, no? If you remember one part, you will be able to remember that in the other part it is not there. You can go through the document also. You can Google it. No one knows.
Uh, After detail allows to look at the child.
Hmm?
Master detail allows to the child record to be
Yeah, master relationship
master
will.
detail allows
Hmm.
to record the parent con-
I did not get you. Can you just you can say it in your own language also. Okay.
In
So
master
yeah,
in master lookup, if you delete the parental record, automatically child record will also delete.
very good. That
And,
is very important point. This is yes. Go ahead, Manoj.
and without parental record, we can't enter the child record also.
Excellent. The This is the one. So once the parent is deleted, automatically the child record will be deleted. That is called as cascading delete, which is available only in the master detail relationship and not in the lookup relationship. Okay. And so in the here there is no need of like we can do create the lookup relationship in other objects also, that too for the same object we can. That means there is no need of two objects always in the lookup, but in master detail relationship it is necessary. We will go ahead, like we'll continue in the next relationship topics, no? At that moment you will understand that this sentence. Okay. And next, guys, so this is what, like the what owner field is missing in the child object in the master detail relationship, because there is no need, the entire owner details will be carried forwarded to the child object. Hence there is no need of separate owner field in the second object. Okay. But in lookup relationship, they have their own owners and everything is up to their circle. And yeah, in the part of security, actually whatever the access we give to the parent record will be automatically carried to the child record in the master detail relationship. But this security inheritance is not available in the lookup relationship. Okay. Listen carefully. At the end we will have a recall, so you have to tell all these differences. Okay. And yeah, roll up summary is possible in the master detail and not possible in the lookup relationship. And one more difference is, one more I'll add it here. So in master detail relationship, you can have only up to two fields added to one object. Two fields can be created per one object in master detail, but lookup we can add up to 25 fields. Okay. You did not understand what is fields. So let me show you. We have no like this. So this is a lookup relationship. This type of lookup relationships we can have up to 4. How much I mentioned? It is now count has been changed. Yeah. Actually, till the previous versions and all, it was 25 and now it is 40. Salesforce have increased their number of counts. So 40 extra fields you can add. That is a lookup relationship. But master detailed relationship column, you can add like that field can be added only twice, not more than that. And one more important difference is um, lookup relation is a loosely coupled one, and master detailed relationship is a tightly coupled relationship. Okay. Okay. Since I have said this, I wanted to say that Salesforce is a multi-tenant following the multi-tenant architecture. You might be asking what is a multi-tenant architecture? Multi-tenant architecture is something um, like, see here. No, like one house has multiple tenants. That means in one house there are like around 10 houses built and they will give it for the rent. So in the same way, Salesforce is also following the multi tenant. That means it is using one server and it is just giving the same server to the other people. So you are also using the Salesforce org, and in the similar way, I am also using the Salesforce org. So all these people are tenants of one structure, which is Salesforce. So because of that, it is very much important that everything should be saved and utilized accordingly. So if I am a tenant of a house, if I am using more water, so obviously water shortage will be happen for the other people also. Because of that, Salesforce has declared their own like limits for each and everything. And this is one among them, that is 25, 40 count for lookup relationship and 2 for the master detailed relationship. Okay, there are much more when we come to the developer training, but that is not necessary for you people. But you just understand that, see, this is one building and one person is living, that means it's a single tenant. When the same building has been utilized by multiple users, that is a multi-tenant architecture. Okay. So this is followed because the cost has been reduced drastically. One person uses everything means he might be like he don't want everything to use. Sometimes he might use one and the next time he might need it twice or two or some other instances. But for that, on an average, if someone buys only one single apartment rather than the entire building, the expenses, the cost will be reduced and everything will be shared among each and everyone. But if it is, yeah, that is what single is having more cost. So you can go through once, but that is the only final, like what Salesforce and SAP and all are utilizing this type of architectures. Okay, and differences we have covered. We'll see now the other types of relationships in the Salesforce. The first one we saw is lookup. Second is um, master detailed relationship, and the third one is many to many relationship, and fourth is self relationship, and fifth is finally hierarchical relationship. So many to many relationship means as of now we were just seeing like this architecture, like this fashion. So one teacher, thousand workers. One company, thousand workers, one teacher, 10 students. But now what we will do is 100 job openings to 100 applicants. This is also a scenario which we have to consider because so if there is one job opportunity in the Naukri, that means in one job 100 people will be applying. In the same way, one student is applying for 100 jobs also, no? See here, one job, 100 students applies. And in the same way, one student applies to 100 jobs. So that means it is vice versa. Now if you want to create some relationship, you have to create like two relationships separately. One is for this and the other one is for this. But to eliminate this, we have something called as many to many relationship, which is by default not present in Salesforce. So we have to create the many to many relationship with the help of one junction object, that is one dummy object created, one dummy object created with two master detail fields. So always this is at the part of secondary, that is child object. Dummy object will be as a child object, and the two master detail fields of any two connected to these two objects, students and jobs. Okay, so here you will be able to see two fields which looks like field like job, and one more field is student, and this is how it looks. But this is not used. Finally, we will not use dummy object. We can now see the two objects which has both the related columns. So you will able to enter in the both, like you can apply 200 jobs or so on. We have one more example here. Speaker, no, we see that a session can have a multiple speakers, but also speaker can present at multiple sessions. So speakers and sessions are something which are related to like people who have written some theories and all, no, they will go to some seminars and all, they will give their they will submit their papers, and they can have their sessions, and in their session they can speak also. This is something related to that. This is what I said. This is a dummy object which we create with two master detailed relationships, and this is at the child side. So these two are parent objects, and this is a child object. We are adding speaker here, session here, and here also we will add like speaker is already there, and here the speech details. Okay, this is how we can create the many to many relationship. It is not necessary to like practice it, but you should be knowing how you will do it and what is the use. Okay, just remember and memorize, guys, this one. And then comes self relationship. So for example, we have a campaign. You people know what is a campaign? Campaign is something you would have seen. People are standing near the mall for selling the Airtel sims and all sim cards. That is their campaign. That means they are doing some ad promotion things to just improve their sales. So from that they might get any customers is their idea. So that type of camps are organized in huge. So for example, uh, in the, how I can say, yeah, in the Prime Video, Amazon Prime, they will show some ads. In the same way, in the other TV channels, Prime Video, like Prime OTT ads are coming. That means it has the OTT within this, and again, Prime will do the ads for the next others. That means this is one campaign for Prime promotion, and Prime is doing again their own promotion plus additional ads for the other promotions. This is one campaign, and this is one more campaign. There are some scenarios like when we want this should be a bigger campaign, and inside that you want this to be a child campaign details. So these both are fields of same object, but you want a relationship between these two fields, these two campaigns. At that time you have to go to the self relationship. You will use the same object and try to connect the fields within them. So this is how it is. I'll show the hierarchy. So this is the object. In the same object you want to connect with one and the other one. See, this is a campaign object, and inside that you are adding one more parent campaign, lookup relationship. So you are now having a relationship between the campaign and within the campaign. You can select, like there will be hundreds of campaigns created. You can select which is the parent campaign for this. From the same campaigns you are going to select. Understood? Any doubt? Yes, no? Okay. And this self relationship is applicable for all the objects but not for the user object. Okay, and we will see one more, which is hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship is something which is always carried in the user object and not in the other objects. So we have a user object which we will see in the further classes. So here you can see this is user is object where we will give the license and their what is the profile they will use. All the security things we will configure for this user. But sometimes it is necessary, like all the users in the organization Salesforce or I'll show you that users list, so you will also get some clarity. So in organization, if you go to any of the new organization or the project, you will not just see four users here. You are the one, like admin people will have the look on this. You will see hundreds and thousands of records here, because in a company there is no chance of like only four members are working, and for that Salesforce, like no one will buy the Salesforce license and utilize that for their data management. If it is one two, even we can manage within a book, no, like we can write how many people are there, what is the account salary, everything. But it is difficult when the people are increasing. A small company became 1,000 employee company, and at that moment it is very difficult to manage the data. For that reason only CRM, like applications have been created, and Salesforce is one among the CRM. So now you can see there are number of users here. One is mine, and the other one is Tom, and other one is user, and all some other users are present. So here I want to define that I am manager of Tom. So how we will define that? Things we can only define when, like, um, we will have a fields like name and manager and joining date. Okay. First is I have to give enter the name, that is Kalpana, and my manager will of be of this object only. Like we have saved all the users in one object, but I wanted to select one user from the same list to add to the manager position in my record. So I'll add is Tom. So now Tom is my manager. Okay. So that means this manager, this lookup is from the same object, which is user object. Understood? So in the similar way, for hierarchical is this one, and self relation is also similar to this. You can have the campaign, and that details you are giving. This is a Mart TV promotion. Okay. They will ask what is the parent. Here we will have a parent campaign field. This field is a lookup field, and from the object, which object we will select is the same, whatever the object is from this, which is a campaign object. There is some spelling mistake, please ignore that. Okay. So here this is a other standard and custom objects, but here this is for only user object. This is limited to. This is known as hierarchical relationship, and this is known as self relationship. Okay. Understood anything, or you want me to explain some more? Hmm?
Explain some more, Kalpana.
Okay. So we'll see self relationship, which is like I'll give you an example from the same one. So here employees are there. In the same employee only we have to consider one of the person as a manager. What we will do is we'll quickly go to the object manager, worker tab. We will add one more lookup relationship. I said no, up to 40 we can have. So here is 40th, like till 40 you can. It is asking which object you wanted to connect. In the previous time, what we were doing is we were connecting the object with the other objects. But here, what we will do is we will connect with the same object. See, this is the object worker one. And next, so field label what you wanted. I want the label as manager of employee. Okay, this filters and all not needed. Next, next. Save. So now if I refresh, you have to see one more column, one more field, sorry. See manager of employee. Now I'll select. So what records you are expecting to come in this? Hmm? Any idea? See here?
Worker names.
See, correct. So these records have been created by us only, but the same records have been coming. This means um, Kyle is a manager of this name, whatever Fergus. So this means like in the same custom object, we are trying to connect with each other. We are taking the records of the same fields here. So we'll save it. This is called as self relationship. Object which has a relationship field of the same object. So now if you go and see the total number of records, there are four. You are trying to choose from all these four records only, not from the other records of companies which we were doing in the previous. Okay, and we cannot create a self relationship with the master detail relationship field. That is what this difference was telling. You can create a relationship with one object also, which is in lookup, but not in the see. This is the one. Child object is compulsory in the master detail, but here there is no limitation such as you can continue with only one object also. Understood? And then comes user object, which is hierarchical. Hierarchical is something where I was telling no that user object is there, and this is the user object. In this user object, you can define your manager here. This is a standard object, and here whatever you define, it's a hierarchy. In this fashion only, you will be able to what share the security details and all that we will see actually in the next coming further classes. So this is how you know the roles, no, which we will define. This is how. This is one company, under them CEO, under them CFO, and all these are by default roles which we have like Salesforce has given. We can delete each and every one and we can create our own structure. Like Kalpana is a CEO, that is CEO is their position, and then comes C, just manager and supervisor and employee. All these things you will be able to define these roles and roles in the hierarchy. Okay, these things will learn in the next classes, then you will be able to understand much easier. But as of now, yeah, only this much. Okay, I know still bit question mark will be there in your face. So what I want to do it is you can go through the document and everything and start like working on practice once